Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm your co-host, M2 Dave, and I'm here with my co-hosts, CrimsonShadow, Rio, Slips, Tom Brady, and Zyphox. It's good to see everybody again.
What's up?
What
Hey,
up?
Dave.
Yeah, we're gonna have some good topics to talk about today.
That's right. Well, let me start by asking each one of you, do you still feel the passion, the excitement about the game that you felt about 2 weeks ago or something, maybe a week and a half ago when we did the initial podcast? Let's start with Crimson.
Yeah, I still think this patch is a hugely positive step forward for the game. Like I said in the last podcast, I also think that this is not the last patch, right? This is the patch that fully balances the game, that fully addresses, every single complaint, and that makes the game, that puts the game into its final state. I think they still have some ways to go, but I think this is a very large step in the right direction. One thing that I still would like to see them address is Fatal Blow. I don't know how you guys feel playing matches or watching people play, but the flawless blocking on Fatal Blow is really, really, really situational, right? For every, 20 or 25 times you see someone get hit with a Fatal Blow in neutral, maybe once someone reads it and flawless blocks it or something like that. So while I think that that's a nice quality of life change situationally, I think that it's just not that situation where you know it's coming and you know the exact timing and you can flawless block it. It's not really prevalent enough to make a huge change in the Fatal Blow meta. I also think that whatever they did to reduce pushback on Fatal Blows, they should keep going. It should be the point where if you block someone's Fatal Blow, there should never be a question of, can I punish? It should be an obvious punish, and there should be some kind of risk reward, more so than there is now, for using your Fatal Blow. I also still think that it would be great if once you use it and it gets blocked or you whiff it, you're done. That's it. So you better pick your opportunity wisely and use it. But with that said, I think the changes to pokes have made enormous changes for some characters, right? Characters that could not gel before, now you have to respect them. I think the hitbox changes made enormous changes for some characters, like Kano, who some might say is too good now. And I think the custom variations obviously have really benefited a number of characters, right? We're seeing people now making top 8s with Sub-Zero, with characters that, with Kano, with characters that we just didn't see a lot before, especially at that level in top 8. So, overall, I'm happy, and I think there's more work to do, but this is a good first step.
All right, thank you. Rio, what about you?
Yeah, the game's in a much better spot now, at least for me. I'm having more fun with it. I feel like I've settled on a character, and every time I play, I feel like there's something to work on or learn or practice. You play somebody, they play against you with a weird custom, you haven't seen it, then you have to lab it, like the Shiva Fireball thing, which is actually pretty good. Surprised that's one slot, but that's a very good move for multi-fireball attack. The only issue I have is some of the hitboxes, but it's not too much of an issue. Like Rain's back 2 and forward 2 tend to whiff on some characters like Kodal. But aside from that, I'm having fun.
Slips, what about you? I know last time you talked about using Rambo and stuff. Have you had the chance to use Scorpion and Rambo?
Yeah, I've been using. I started off using Scorp. I was using Misery Blade and Fire Breath. It's a pretty good combination. You can kind of vortex a little bit. Then I started looking more into Rambo, and I've been really digging Rambo, dude. He is tight. As far as like the patch goes, I think it feels like the game's finally like I don't know. I actually like the game a lot better now. It's like pokes actually means something. Knocking someone down means more as opposed to knocking someone down like get the hell out of there before they hit you with something. Now they at least have to have a bar to really be a threat. They didn't even need a bar before. The delay and long and short delay were so good, it was still scary to do anything to him, really. So I think it's been great. It's like you poke someone, it's your turn. There's no question about it anymore. there's no more the mashing down poke down poke like there was before, just for grins, because why not? Because some characters really couldn't punish you that bad for it. So I think it's great. And I agree about the fatal blows. Like
Go ahead.
they could still use a little bit of tweaking. I think it's crazy. Like even like Super Turbo, like ST, like when they did a super in that old ass game, like there was at least a little bit of a pause to let that player know that there's a super coming. in this game, it's just like, by the way, a super just as fast as a jab. Like it's like, what? You can't even react. And then they do an obscene amount of damage. There's no scaling, no matter how much life that they have or not. Like it's still really, 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 really strong. Probably the strongest supers I've seen in like a normal like 1v1 fighting game, I think.
Zyphox, what about?
Funny enough, I really do like the patch. But I'm not using Liu Kang. I'm just straight up using Rain this entire time. It's fucking great. I think that that variation where he has the geyser palm, the that down back 3, like that moving away thing. I'm not using Tidal Wave anymore. And the Hydro Boost, now that it's fixed, make that character so like satisfying to use. But in terms of the game, I feel like the minor changes that were made was like basically like the bare minimum of what needed to be changed. I feel like there could be more. I feel like some people have pointed out that like the changes have been minimal, and I feel like, for example, Jackie getting like a slap in her wrist, basically. She's still the same character, pretty much, right? And not really making those like crazy changes that the community really wants, like something done with like anti-airs or the many breakaway issues or the fatal blow coming back after only once, kind of like the remember those supers from Street Fighter 4? What were they called again?
Ultras.
Yes, the ultras were they. Even if you whiffed them, there was only one time. I feel like that was like the sweet spot for those types of things. But besides like those minimal changes that were made to make the game better, like quality of life went up definitely, especially when like poking back, like Slip said. But overall, this game has been fun though. I will say that. Just the sheer like custom. Like I'm running into variations and don't even know what I'm doing in ranked, so it's pretty fun.
Well, let me ask Tom, because I think that, not to be biased, but I think you may have arguably the most interesting stuff to say about this stuff, because I was watching one of your videos earlier on your channel. I recommended to everybody about the wake up system and the way it functions right now, and how that also affects on breakaways. So with that said, can you talk about how you like the game and how, what you just published about, I don't know, maybe 5 hours ago, how that ties into your perception of the game at the moment?
I like a lot about the game in general. I didn't play it for a little over 3 months. Just recently started playing it again. And I'm going to start playing it a lot more. Start setting up sparring sessions and whatnot. I like the customs. I'm quite intrigued by a lot of the combinations. It's cool to see new stuff. There's always a new problem to lab, always something new to overcome, which just shows a lot of the freedom of the game. I really like a lot of the stuff that they fixed about it. My issue still is, and like I said, some people think it's okay to get up with full combos. It's not my place to say what is or isn't correct. But I think, in general, it's still a little too much power to be on the ground. It's not the position of weakness I'm used to seeing people in. And like I said, it could be a new day, full comboing people while you're getting up. It could be the new thing in fighting games. If it is, so be it. Not my place to argue about it. But I just think that I don't think there should be so many ways to get up and combo the opponent. I get it. You have to make reads. I just don't think you deserve a read that gives you a combo if you're on the ground. You should have no right or chance to combo somebody while you're getting off the ground unless they do something that's unsafe, like a move that you block or whatever that's unsafe, then sure. But causing a mind game in which somebody's going to get comboed unless you down one. And even when they don't have a bar, there's still that mind game there. Even when they don't have the bar, if you guess that they're going to get straight up and you go to meaty, they lay on the ground, it's a combo. If you guess that they're going to lay on the ground and they get straight up, it's going to be wake up buttons. No matter what, you can always down one, keep yourself safe. I get it. Or you can auto meaty unless they have a bar for forward roll. But at the end of the day, I just think it should be looked into a little bit. But besides that, I'm enjoying the game quite a bit. I just think that it's kind of out of whack for what we think traditionally of a wake-up system, but it could be a new day in fighting game. So that's how I feel about it.
Does anybody want to comment on that about the... At times it's pretty detailed video. We don't have to get into too much detail, but pretty much you get up like 4 frames faster.
9
frames faster. So, for example, I've also been messing around with the Rain, and he has a string that's 2, 4, 2. You really want to use that in combos. But if they break, they get up so much faster that they can literally react to you using that string. And just, if they know the matchup, they can just, just react, see the animation, break, and then just get up and combo you. And that, I think those two things are kind of tied, together, the breakaways and the wake up, because, obviously you wake up, you get up faster now. So I see those things kind of, like connected. Would anybody like to comment on that? Maybe somebody who has a different opinion?
I agree. I think breakaway. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Slick.
I was going to say, breakaway is still kind of weird. Like, it's still pretty cheap, the way it works. Like, can you still, just hold up during certain strings and then...
Yep.
And then just break away and full combo them? Like, that's crazy.
What were you going to say?
I guess, you could... I don't know why, if you do a breakaway, you should just be on the ground a lot longer, just to avoid... Or maybe not a lot longer, but long enough for something like that shouldn't happen.
Because you get up faster, short delay isn't so cheap anymore. Or just delay, isn't so cheap, right? Because you get up a lot faster in general. So it's, instead of you getting up with a combo, you'll just get up at advantage.
That would be... That's probably ideal, yeah.
Considering you just broke out of a 50% combo, that's probably good enough.
Were you going to comment on anything?
Yeah, I think people haven't really explored the anti-breakaway combos yet, because, even today, I was watching some MK11, because there was a bunch of events today.
Yeah.
And I'm watching DJT, who's looking really good this version. He's playing Spawn. People break away against him. They're eating 40% combos. And when they break away against him, they have to guess a strike throw mix up when they break away. I'm sure character you guys are playing, you guys can find something where if they don't break away, you'll get some kind of decent damage. And if they do break away, they have to still hold some kind of Oki.
For my character, no.
Because I have some setups for Rain.
For my character, no. You can uppercut.
So Sub-Zero has no kind of combo conversion or any kind
of
setup
that does any kind of damage. You can do an uppercut and they can keep the bar and do 28.
All right, well,
but
I'm gonna... Any of the lab monsters that watch this video, if you guys can find something with
Sub-Zero, I promise you, those lab monsters, don't send them up against me. They don't want to do that.
I know with Rambo.
Well, anyway, ego aside, Sub-Zero players, you guys are more than welcome to do your thing.
You can do about 28, even if they break. You get the uppercut. The point is, you don't ever take the bar. You take the 28, but never the bar. If you're actually trying to take the bar from them, you're going to open yourself up to do no damage or get comboed. If you cut it short, I'm going to pretend that I'm going to do damage.
Getting 28% guaranteed damage seems pretty good if they're not doing the bar.
Yeah,
you're getting 30%. You're getting.
My point is,
1/3 of their life.
You're just saying people aren't doing anti-breakaway combos. You do, but
you're saying Sub-Zero doesn't have any good ones.
Well, not one where you get damage, the bar, and the advantage. It's not You don't get all.
So
the way.
you're sure there's no mix-ups you're able to enforce to try and bait a
Not-
breakaway?
not-
Like,
not-
I
yeah,
know.
you can do
with
like- you can
rain.
do
I
like
have
a-
some of those. Like I also want to touch on that thing Dave said earlier, where rain you can't ever use 2-4-2 in combos because they'll always auto breakaway. That's completely false.
All right.
There's
Yeah,
many ways to bait it.
I want to say like I still
There's many ways to bait it with rain.
yeah
It's, like,
I'm
crazy.
saying combos with the breakaway system the way that's working is fine. I think it's weird that certain strings you can hold up during the strings and then instantly break away to punish
Yeah, what
those
I mean
strings.
is like slips like
Yeah,
like,
2-4-2 is actually a good bait against people that love to auto breakaway
okay,
against
so
rain.
I'm
like
not
that.
talking about that situation that Rio's talking about. Rio likes to generalize.
No, I'm just no. I was just wanted to comment on something Dave said earlier. He said you
Oh,
really
okay.
can
Well, let me
use
tell you what I'm
2-4-2
talking
in
about.
strings.
Like for me, I
in,
mean like
combos 'cause
slips.
breakaway.
I go to do like forward 2 into the rising ice, right, for the overhead launcher, and say they happen to be holding up. The forward 2 hits, well, they're airborne slightly. They break away. The rising ice comes out. Not only do I lose the offensive bar, but then I land and they full combo me for it.
That's not really a breakaway thing. That's them holding up in neutral. And you
Well, then they broke away.
Yeah, but that's such a specific instance of them just holding up in neutral and you happen to
But-
be clipping them. It's not really a breakaway issue.
That is a breakaway issue. It's like Slip said, holding up, and if
But it's so specific.
well,
They're holding
I'm
up.
talking
Let's
about
give you a
during like
specific
certain
example.
strings, like not in like random situations in neutral.
oh yeah, if they get hold up in strings, they can break away. If you just happen to coincidentally be doing a string and they're airborne, like you didn't plan for them to be
Like-
airborne,
Like as a defensive player, like if you see a string and you know you have two defensive bars and they're doing a string and you know you can hold up during that string and then instantly break away and punish that string if they finish it. Like I don't know if that's intended for it to work like that.
I mean, it doesn't always work out
breakaway
that
on
way.
most strings like that. Like when Jay does back 3-4-3, whatever, and you hold up, the first hit will clip you, and then you'll fall to the ground and hit her. Before you don't even have to breakaway on a lot of these strings. You just hold up and you get rewarded.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the breakaway. I don't
So
have
it's not really a breakaway thing. It's more in that holding up gets you clipped, and then you kind of avoid the rest of the string. And a lot of the strings in this game have so much animation to them. It's like watching a movie.
yeah, what
It's
I
like
what I
character
find
enters a
more
string.
people do is not breakaway. To me, breakaway is not as much of a big deal to me. But what I find people do is not try to do it to break away. But if they have their defensive bar, sometimes you're actually better off in trying to get out of a situation if you're on the ground as opposed to being standing. So if you can have a scenario where you get clipped and the rest of the string misses, even if you don't get anything for sure, the fact that then you have your bar and you can work that 8-way guessing game, unless they just down one you, that's people still try to do that as well. They just try to, if there's traps, sometimes go airborne. Maybe they get a breakaway situation. Maybe they get away. Maybe they get clipped and fall and get a full combo. Or maybe they're just take 10%, end up being grounded, and then they can work the wake up system. But
see, look, that seems pretty good because what you said earlier, you get 28% with Sub-Zero and people don't break away.
I don't have a
You
problem.
do the 28% combo, you knock them down, right? Then you go to do something, they forward roll, and then you bait the forward roll, and then you 1-2 ice ball them into a full combo that they can't break away. Now that you're taking like over half of their life.
My whole problem
from that
with
one
breakaway is
It seems pretty good.
my whole problem with breakaway is the accidental breakaway. That's my number one problem with it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I agree with that too, and it's crazy how no one has really been saying anything about
that
that.
they didn't take the command. That I just sometimes like your accident, especially
This
online.
should honestly just be down flip stance because no one uses. flip
Especially,
stance.
look, they're doing a pro competition online. Bottom line is, if you're playing online on the best connection, there's 7 frames of input lag, period. So you go to block something online at the last second, and those frames come into play, you get hit, and your block is going to come out later. You're down block, and you're going to lose. Breakaway's gone. I'm surprised they didn't change losing.
Because people aren't mentioning this. As
Losing
much,
those
man. People are
two
too
defensive-
busy complaining that they need Katana to get buffed instead of talking about inputs on some of the breakaways.
To not always be able to purposefully break away, to have it tied to something that can come out accidentally, I think they should look at. Just my thought about it.
The reason it's an issue with being tied to the block button is because you're moving a lot. You're block dashing, and you're playing against characters like Liu King or Sub-Zero. You dash, you get hit by like a flying
Or
kick or
slide.
Sub-Zero slide. You go to down block last second, you lose all your meter,
Mhm.
and then the characters are in your face with offense.
Yeah, that's a great example. I think that's
Yeah. I mean, is there any like downside to making it down in flip stance? Does any character use flip stance like that? Because I feel like if you make it down in flip stance, you have to go out of your way to get it by accident.
I agree.
I think they
Because
want
down and block is way too common.
Yeah, I would like to see it changed.
Because flip stance kind of needs more use as a button.
That's really my
Only
only.
tied to what fatal blows.
Yeah, that's really my only problem with the breakaway. The wake up system, I would. It's such a guessing game in general. I get it. Down one covers a lot of stuff. If they don't have any bar, you can auto meaty to cover both the delay, not delay. I get that. But
The reason I like the wake up system is because it pretty much emphasizes people wanting to play neutral and footsies more. It makes people want to knock you down and then sometimes think about going back into footsies with you, and I like that. I like that aspect of it a lot.
You can never fighting game just like that without. I think the Oki system.
But what if some of us don't want a fighting like that? What if we're happy with some of the MK?
No, I mean
design choices?
that's fine. People have their opinions. We do the podcast to share opinions, and this.
And like I said, it's not like every character has to follow that rule. This game gives you characters that completely eliminate the wake up system.
Well,
If you hate wake ups that much, you could play characters that restand you.
well,
Like Cassie, like Johnny, characters that get guaranteed Oki off set play.
you can.
So the game
but
gives you so much options.
one significant one was just normalized, but that's beside the point. I had rather. The reason I never spoke about this before because I was very ignorant about the issue. I was looking at it from a highbone perspective. Who I had rather take 21, 22% and be plus 25 in this game, standing, than I would ever have like 30% of damage. Because, and especially if it's breakable, where they break it and you get punished, or you have to do some weird ass combos, give up a lot of damage, like Tom was saying. I think, to me at least,
28% is not giving up a lot of damage.
well, I had rather have her standing reset that's like plus 25 and gives me a free throw where I can force a mix up. The worst thing they can.
Yeah, and some of us rather have 10 frame overheads and lows that go into guaranteed mix-ups too.
No, I think in this game you want to universally have that, like because whereas in other fighting games you probably don't want that because you would probably take the damage over that. I understand this game is different than than other fighting games, like they all are. But to me, in this game especially, I think Oki is almost non-existent. It's a joke in this game. I just don't see how anybody.
It definitely exists. You just have to go about it a different way. You can't be autopilot with it. It's not like other games where you knock people down and you have to go through your flow chart of knockdown options.
And there are other fighting games where that's not the case at all. You have to respect people's options, but you are the one who earned the knockdown. Whether this is counter to anybody who has played fighting games ever. It's doesn't make any sense whether you're a rushdown player or zoning player like me. When you get a knockdown, you expect now it's my turn. It doesn't mean you autopilot to do 50-50 mix-ups on people. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's what Tom's saying with his videos. It's just the fact that I should be able to press the advantage. That's
You can press the advantage. It's just you have to do it smartly. If you're knocking somebody down and then doing 4-2-1-2 with RoboCop as a meaty, that's a horrible choice to do.
Then there's really no safe option.
Here's the thing. There's risk with what you want to do. You want big reward, right?
Yes, I should
You're
have
taking
reward.
risks.
I earned a knockdown.
What's the issue with that? You're doing RoboCop's 4-2-1 on meaty. If you're knowing that if they forward roll, you're dead. But if they wake up and they'll block, they're dead.
Okay, then what should I be doing?
Paying off.
What should I be doing?
It depends. What do you think they're gonna do? You have to make a read.
But Rio's trying to
Should down one, man. That's all there is to it. If you think that they're gonna,
man, this is easy to sum up. This game has a rule. Every part of game is governed by rules. Mortal Kombat 11's rule on knockdown is if you are hunting a confirmable full combo starter on them, they, even though they're on the ground, are able to hunt a full combo starter on you, unless you want to forego that right and do it down one to keep yourself safe. Then at least you're not risking.
And also, this rule doesn't apply to everybody. Some characters can overcome this by doing other things. Like when I play Rain, I could do my Thundercloud setups and then hunt a free combo without getting comboed. So other characters have their different ways of doing stuff.
In my opinion, if you're on the ground, you have 0.0 right to even think about getting up with a combo. But that's the rules of the game, and that's how they are for right now.
Really, it boils down to this. Is the better player going to win if they make reads? Can you out-read somebody and beat them? If the answer is yes, then I don't see what's the issue with the system.
It's not about whether the game is random or whether the better player is going to lose to a worse player. It's just about following fighting game rules that have been followed since the beginning of fighting games. Now you can say, "Oh, shut up, you old geezer." That's fine. I respect that. But I like the fact that when I get a knockdown, it's my turn because I probably earned a knockdown. And here's another thing I like. I like when I throw somebody a wake up, not for somebody to delay wake up, uh, go to Taco Bell, have a burrito, come home, take a shit, and still be able to uppercut and get a crushing blow. That's again.
First of all, you should know meeting with a throw is a very bad choice to do in this game.
Well,
know that comes with high risk.
I understand that, but
that's called bad decision making. You don't go for a meaty throw, and you only go for meaty throw after they delay. If you want to,
I know of no other fighting game
not
where
on the initial. Delay.
I know of no other fighting game where.
Well, this is not other fighting games, Dave. This is Mortal Kombat 11 with its own rules and its own game style.
I respect that, but let's talk about how 99%.
The second you start playing MK11, less like other fighting games, and start playing it like MK11 is when you're gonna have.
I play MK11 as MK11. Stephanie said if people have criticisms, they're allowed to voice them publicly.
Yes, you can voice what you want, and I can also voice my opinion on your opinion. Like I don't know.
No, I understand that, but when I'm talking about fighting games, other fighting games, I'm comparing apples to apples. I'm not talking about. I don't know
about that because they're fighting games doesn't mean they play anything. There's a lot of fighting games that play.
I don't want to spend all day on the wake up system.
Like, look at this NRS games compared to each other. Just NRS games compared to each other are nothing alike. But you want to compare an NRS game to a completely different fighting game?
In my opinion, and this is all I can say on the matter. In my opinion, if you want to go risk versus reward, then that's fine. But you earned that right by getting the knockdown. Okay, and then on the ground, they have resources they can use, and the resource should match the reward that you get, right? So if something is heavily rewarding, it should cost something. For example, if you want to look at the whole delay wake up mind game, well, to lay on the ground, even if you have bar, now you can't up 3, you can't up 2, you can't roll, nothing, right? So you're foregoing a lot of options to lay on the ground. And if you're right and they try to meet you with a full combo starter, you're rewarded for foregoing all those options. Because if you're wrong, you could get blown up for it. So you are, in turn, giving something up. Same thing with up 3, right? It's an invincible wake-up attack. It's completely invincible. To beat it out, it forces opponents to either back up or neutral jump it, which opens up 2, etc. Up 2 also.
Some of them could just be false block too. There's a lot of different
That's true. My point is, though, it forces another layer of meta, right? And
yeah, and it's also character dependent. Because some of them you don't even have to false block. You can literally just block them and punish them.
Dave, what are you saying? Like other fighting games don't have this? What do you mean? There's plenty of games that have delay wake ups.
No, hold on. Tom,
let me say this before. I know you want to give your answer, and I will give you an opportunity. The thing is, well, I'm glad you mentioned it. I know Rio's gonna pull his hair out, but I'm gonna have to talk about it. It's very simple. When in Tekken or Street Fighter do you feel like, oh my god?
Comparing Tekken to MK11.
I almost choked because I knew Rio was going to cut.
Keep going, Dave.
I mean, like, it's just like crazy to me.
Well,
going, Dave.
Let him finish.
Let me finish. When in Tekken are you next to the wall and you're like, oh my god, I gotta back off? When? What? Or are you in Street Fighter?
You knock the guy down, their back is to the wall.
That's right.
And you're the guy.
Why are you supposed to? Like, it would be the Tekken community.
In Tekken, you gotta worry about wake up 3. You gotta worry about spring up kick sometimes.
You gotta worry about Yoshimitsu wake up flash. What are you talking about, Dave?
No, you don't. Check any cover.
Bro, I literally just saw a clip that said 30 seconds wrong with everything Tekken season whatever, and it was an Akuma player fighting a Fakum Ram. Got him to the corner. The dude woke up once and took his entire life bar. Are you kidding me? You want me to show you the clip right now?
No, I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's not a regular occurrence. And that's the point I'm trying to make. In Tekken, you're not afraid of somebody being on the ground. In Street Fighter, you're not afraid.
People also make better choices, I'm sure, in knockdown. They don't go run up media throw when there's so many options.
Someone hits you with a wake up 3 in Tekken, like they get a counter hit and they get a full combo, and sometimes that full combo can do half life.
It's only a face down wake up 3 or a roll back wake up 3, right?
Yeah,
or a counter.
Yeah, it is better. But I again encourage anybody from whether it's Tekken to look up any matches and tell me it's a constant thing where one guy's afraid and just backs off when it should be.
That's how you beat. That's how you beat a spring up kick and a wake up kick, though. You back off and let it whiff, and then you launch them.
That's
I'm just strictly
true.
talking Tekken right now.
Spring up kick doesn't go to a full combo.
Yeah, and neither does
a wake up kick can. Mm-hmm.
I know, but how many times do you actually see that?
I know, but hold on. My point is, okay, look, I don't
wake up kick comboing. It happens a lot.
It does happen.
No, it doesn't.
But okay,
I mean,
look,
because
I don't
people
wanna compare
people
this
can
to-
eliminate it because they know the options and
But
how to
Tekken
beat
has
it.
a
But that's
side
just
step as well. You can't compare Mortal Kombat to Tekken because
sidestep has nothing to do with the wake ups, though.
You can't even
No, my
compare
point
MK11
is-
to
my
MK
point
or
is,
MK9. They're
not
all
even
so
the same.
different.
They're not even the same type of game, right? The way they do stuff, right? My point is that
Street Fighter
There-
5 has delay wake up. Like Street Fighter
Yeah, it's
4
not
has
delay
delay
Yeah,
wake
none
up. Like,
of those options lead to full combos at any point. No point are you.
no,
People
it just
complain about
dude,
Street Fighter wake
Street
up
Fighter
jab and full
5
combos.
wake up jab has been a thing
They
for a
call it
long
Jab
time.
Fighter
Though,
and
yeah.
wake up a full combos.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
but you know what also happens when people try to do? They get crush countered. They get crush.
Yes, you know what happens in Mortal Kombat 11 when people try to wake up Mash? Watch Sonic Fox play. He full combos them because he makes the right read. Again, it's all about read.
How many times I've already seen
You
people
have to manage
back
your
off?
decisions, man. Dave, look, your decisions are really bad, dude. Like I said, with your RoboCop, game plan is horrible. It's all death. You do run up, grab, or 4-2-1-2. Like, switch it. Do something else, man. What you're doing, every time you're wrong, you're getting full comboed, and you're not even looking at what the issue
and
is.
getting
Look
hit
at
by
what you're inputting.
getting hit by a down one on wake up isn't like that's a bigger deal now because you get better frames and you can jail.
You're get guaranteed offense.
Yeah, just
Well,
getting hit by a down one is a
You
big
have to
deal.
hold
now.
the
I don't
throw
know.
mix
From
up.
what people have started, the way the game is developing, people have started doing at the highest level of play. They're flawless blocking more than ever. Even on hit now, they're looking for, which by the way is another gripe for me with the game. So you have certain people here. Well, I should say one individual who cried for months about armor in MKX.
Oh my god, dude. Dave, like,
let me just
Dave,
close out with
real
wake up.
talk, why do you always have this
Hold
trump
on,
card?
hold on,
No
man.
one cares about MKX. We're not talking
All
about
right, look,
MKX.
can I
We're
just
talking
close
about
out?
MK11
Can I
here.
just close out on the wake up system? Say this so we can move on. My point isn't about the wake up system being unfair or this or that. My point is that a lot of the wake up system, the cost justifies the reward. Like I said, if you lay on the ground, you're foregoing like 5 options, right? Now you might get a combo if you're right, but if you're wrong, you're probably going to be screwed. Up 3, it forces people to change their approach. It's invincible. It costs a bar of each. Same with up 2. The reward and the cost are justified. And then there's wake up roll, who can reward you with a full combo, but only costs 1 bar of defensive meter. Its reward does not justify its cost. And all I'm saying is to balance the wake up system just a little better, the cost should be in line with the reward, and right now it's not that way all the way around. That's the only way. I would like to see the forward roll cost be in line with its reward.
But the reward is what you're giving your opponent, though. It's completely controllable what you're talking about. It's not like, oh my god, I knocked it down, can't do anything.
It's a game of read. For being right on a forward roll, you get a comp.
I agree, but here's the thing. When you wake up forward roll, you're putting your life on the line. If they bait the forward roll and you get punished, you're dead. You cannot break away. You're getting a full, giant punishment.
Still an option that is forcing you to sometimes do nothing or just.
I understand it, but the reason why back roll isn't complained about much is even when you're called out on back roll, you can't really do anything about it. When you forward roll, there's more risk associated with it because
And the reward is
you're going to get
higher as
comboed
well.
if you're
The reward
baited,
is-
where you can't apply to the back roll.
The forward roll is an offensive and defensive.
But do you see why forward roll is high risk, high
The
reward?
forward
though?
roll is both a defensive and offensive option. It's meter cost.
It's high risk, high reward.
I
It's
don't
just how
care
it
what
works.
it is. It is both a defensive and offensive option, and that should be reflected.
Yes,
in the
against
cost.
people like Dave again, who like to run up in 4-2-1-2 RoboCop as me.
Agree to disagree. Dave, move on to your next point.
Anyway, look, I just want to say this because there's like a bunch of tournaments happening today and events, and there's a lot of good gameplay happening. And I've seen so many matches of people baiting forward rolls and just killing the opponent, literally obliterating them.
And you see a lot of matches of the forward roll paying.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, it's all reads, and I think that adds a fun factor to the game. Whereas if there weren't things like forward roll, it would just be.
You can still have the reads. Its resource cost should match what the move actually is. I'm not saying.
I don't see what the issue of forward roll being high risk, high reward is.
I'm not saying remove it.
I think it.
I understand that, but it being high risk, high reward, what's the big deal? Like I said, if you guess wrong and they call you out, you're dead.
It's causing.
Back roll is low risk, low reward because you get nothing when you read a back roll usually, but you're safe also. You're barely going to get punished for doing back roll.
I think it makes sense. Like if you have defensive bar, I mean, you got a lot of good defensive options when you're on the ground, or you can have both bars as a combo breaker. Like,
Yeah,
I think
and
it makes
whenever
sense.
you use any of that meter, you can't break away. Like that's also a thing. When you get hit after making one of these wrong reads, whether it be an up 3 or forward roll, whatever, you have to eat the full combo.
Again, I just think it should be reflected in the resources. If it's an offensive option at all, it should also cost some of the offensive bar.
It's a slippery slope because it's not really offensive though. It's all dependent on what your opponent's doing. It's not really straight
And
up
up 3
the
should
way you're
cost
putting it.
offensive bar. Up 2 shouldn't cost offensive bar. It's all up to what your opponent.
To me,
But up 2 is it's an attack though.
up 3 wake up and forward roll wake up, you use the same punish for both of those. So as good as both of those options are, I think the option to blow that option up is the same. Like you backdash and then you punish.
Yep, exactly. Back out of the way, they forward roll, they die, they do up 3, you whiff punish.
It's not a hard read for both options. It's like you do one read for both of those options.
Well, some up 3s on wake up, like for example, Rain. I use the character. His is
Or Shao Kahn's.
yeah. They're so.
Those are just character specific tools. Like some characters gonna be better at stuff. Everybody has the same forward roll.
Well, speaking of, you mentioned the word dying. What is Robocop going to kill you with his 15% combos that require 1 bar? Like, is that what's going to happen if they roll? I'm going to kill them. They're going to die. Really?
I mean, you
In
get
this
one
game right now where
burn. It's like almost 30%.
even if I do that combo, I'll put them full screen away. Almost doesn't matter. This game has now, like, Sub-Zero, every Sub-Zero now is a slide. Now Terminator is a teleport all of a sudden. I didn't even know that. I mean, name me one character, and they most likely have a teleport or some kind of absorb move. You just want
It's Mortal Kombat. Every Mortal Kombat game has half the cast.
all right, that's fine. Then I think the zoning should also reflect that. But it doesn't.
So the answer was never really the wake ups. You want zoning buffs.
Yeah, I want
Oh,
both. I want both.
We're getting to the meat and potatoes.
Again,
here.
how does this happen?
So you want low gunshot to come back?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the.
Now we back on the damn low gunshot.
Okay, look, I don't know if I'm gonna get flamed here, but I'm just gonna say I don't think the zoning is that bad in this game. I really don't. I feel like some characters have a good zoning game plan and they can.
No, I agree. It works.
Like I'm watching a Raiden player play today, and it's like the lamest shit I've ever seen.
I think there is some. I'm not saying no zoning is dead or not, or non-existent. That's not what I'm suggesting.
No, I'm saying I feel like some of the zoning is actually good. Like you can actually win with it. Like take Melina for example. And also we need to talk about Melina because holy crap.
She's cheap.
Have you guys seen what Melina players have been asking for?
Well, hold on before we get.
Somebody sent me a list of Melina buffs that they want, and I just want to humor you guys.
Well,
Are you ready for what Melina players want?
I know what.
No,
even-
dude. We need to talk about this because this is like a
No,
dude.
we
they
need
want-
to talk about.
I just want to read you the list real quick of what Melina players want for the character. Which, by the way, Melina, that good character right now in the game. They want her 4-1 to be a mid. They want 4-1-2 to be special cancelable. They want air teleport to be a base move. They want air size to be a base move. They want air size to be able to work after teleport on block. They want air size and air teleport to work after 4-1-2. They want her throw crush on low buff. They want command grab to be a base move. They want roll to be faster. They want telekick to be way more plus on hit. They want 2-3-3-4 to launch on hit. And they want invisibility to cost no meter.
Every community.
Dave, this is your community.
What?
That's Katana's sister, dude.
Anyway, I think every community has their buff demanders.
Dude, Melina is good.
We don't.
She's annoying as hell to play against. She's actually one of the better zoning characters.
I think. Zoning in this game. Let's use the term.
The only buff I
Right.
actually agree with Melina players is buffing her back one hitbox. That's literally it. Everything else I think is overkill.
Well, I think you're taking an extreme example of people who might have posted something on Twitter or test your might. I don't see.
It's everywhere. Discord, Twitter.
I don't. There are
Get
people.
to flawless block. Good. Get to your flawless block point because that's where you were trying to go.
Well, okay, that's fine. Thank you. So about the flawless block, I think. So I know. Speaking about controversial, I would get rid of the forward roll. I think he has no place in this game. In fact, I would get rid of both rolls. And one thing I think that the game suffers from is this. You see Biohazard, Ninja Killer, because I think they're the best representatives as far as this issue is concerned, is the fact that they use the flawless block like an armor move more than ever before. So what they will do is do a string that's -6, and then you try to low poke, and then they launch you. And it's like, now you're scared. It's like, okay, maybe I can throw you, and then, maybe they'll, duck this time, and it kind of puts you like you're scared to play that kind of game. Now, you can make the argument, oh, well, it's just a mind game, but that's fine. But I don't want to play that mind game. I want to play my game. Just like Tom wants to play his game, Rio wants to play his game. I shouldn't be forced to play that type of game if I don't want to. It seems like any type of meta is allowed except defense and zoning. If you mention it, like Crimson is fine with Jackie flying around. Now she has projectiles. Apparently, she can now zone. Probably better than most zoners in this game. So that's okay. But the moment you mention, can I have better zoning? Oh my God, they want low gun shots. They want ice clone. It seems like everything is fine except if you ask for those two things. Then you obviously want Zod, you want Freddy, you want Sub-Zero ice clone back. You want to slow down the game. Can somebody address that issue?
Well, I mean, some of the zoning's been buffed this patch, so kind of goes against your point.
Which one?
Katana has better zoning this version than last.
Katana is worse this version.
Highborn stance and low fans are actually better zoning.
I would take the previous version of Katana any day of the week.
Yeah, you're not talking about the zoning.
Okay, but I'm talking about the zoning part.
Oh,
Jesus,
you know what
you're arguing for?
Let me give you an example. Pre-patch, Razors.
Dude, I'm not talking about Highborn Razors being better last patch for Katana. I'm talking about Katana now can zone more effectively than she could last version.
It doesn't mean anything because you have to look at it from the context. Their zoning, while it's effective in some matchups, overall will not be effective because there's usually
So you're gonna tell me characters like Katana, Noob, and so on aren't better at zoning this patch than before?
Okay, you're gonna zone Gears now that they can equip quick low sand trap and they can.
Gears' zoning is better this patch than it was before. Also,
Yeah, I know. His is.
why do you mention him?
Yeah, his is. Yeah, his is.
Okay, so what part of zoning characters can do it better this version than they could before? I mean,
I think definitely.
yeah, some characters can anti-zone. There's more teleports and
Yeah,
projectile
of
parries.
course there are.
But some characters can also zone better now with combinations.
But again, you're missing the point. Everybody has gotten more tools. So the point is, maybe like 2 or 3 can.
No, I see what you're saying. You're saying that the game is more catered way more to offense and rush down, and it's way less defensive based and zoning.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
I think it depends on the matchup. Like, obviously, you're not going to kill Scorpion by
Well, I don't
let him to
expect to
death.
kill Scorpion with, for example, you have now Shiva, who all of a sudden has a great projectile. It's very, very good. Shiva, the rest.
Yeah, I would add her to the list too.
I know, but while that's very strong, it will not mean that much. Again, like it seems like it's all a mess. Like, why does Shiva have good zoning yet RoboCop has bad zoning? Like, it's just like a disaster.
RoboCop has bad zoning.
100% has bad zoning. Yes.
He's one of the better zoning characters.
Yes, which is why he's consistently, considered one of the probably the second worst character after.
He's considered the second worst character in the game version. It just got updated 2 weeks ago. Who's making all these matchup charts right now?
Nobody. Well, I think if I have any.
Can you tell me how good exactly Rain is in this version?
I don't know Rain to that extent. If other people want to comment, but I do know for a fact that the character is probably the worst character in the game. I think Shao Kahn is probably better.
So, Dave, the question is, are you asking for better zoning in the game, or are you asking for better zoning for your character? Because it sounds like you're asking for better zoning for your character.
I'm not even convinced that RoboCop is this bad to begin with. I feel like that's just because Dave apparently played Cowboy and he got literally obliterated. That now RoboCop is completely.
Well, I did get obliterated, but not as much as I obliterated you, though. Make sure you make that distinction, please.
Oh please, dude! I knew 10-0'd you, dude. You really want to go there?
Okay, if you want to go like pre-patch.
Literally, no, I beat you so bad. No,
Anyway.
people need to hear this though. I beat you so bad you wouldn't stop talking about it for months. You were like traumatized of Noob.
I gave you props for doing a combo.
Yeah, and I give you props for beating me too.
Yes,
So,
well, that's probably the
are
only.
you sure RoboCop is really that bad, or is it maybe you just got outplayed that set with Cowboy?
I'm not judging it by. I'm not judging it by Cowboy. Rio, unlike you, Tom, people like Tom, and I assume Slips and Zyphox, we actually play this game. We actually care about this game.
What the
We're
hell
not
are you
playing.
talking about?
We're not
I play the game and I have
I'm
an
not
open
playing
mind because I don't agree
Let
with
me
your
finish
wake up
the
match.
point. I'm not playing Outbreak 10 hours a day anymore. You are. That's you. I understand you stream some MK once or twice a week, but we actually care about the game. I'm not here to troll people and to instigate stuff like you've done. Tom said you were on his fucking stream and talked about how he's losing to somebody. You started counting games.
Dave, did you drink before you got on
stupid?
there? Holy
Why
crap,
are you
what
so
are you
stupid
talking about?
That's what Tom.
And now,
Can you comment on that right now?
wait,
Said you
hold on,
were
stop,
public.
Dave, relax, stop, dude. I'm the maniac. Your friend Tom banned me off his chat because I mentioned the score.
I didn't ban you. I
Who's
timed
really
you
the
out.
crazy one?
I timed you out.
You banned me for hours. You literally put like a 4-hour timeout.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Because all I did was mention the score, Dave. But I'm the crazy person.
I mean, most people when they're counting every game, that's
No, dude, it's weird because when I was counting you beating the Kano, it was whatever.
didn't see it in the
Ignore
chat.
that
I
because
didn't
you're
see it.
winning. But then when I mentioned the other player playing
I
Gear,
only
it's
played the
like,
Kano
shit.
3 games, and I didn't even look at the chat. I was you counting every one.
Dude, stop.
In general, that's a good way to incite a chat riot, especially in mine.
There's no chat, right? I was just keeping score because people kept asking me like, "Yo, what's the score?" So I'm like, "Okay, I'll just keep count so people can just see." What's the big deal?
The irony here is that the real reason Rio doesn't
No, the
play the
irony
game,
here is you and Tom are the crazy ones, and you guys are painting me out to be this lunatic.
the real reason
You're literally.
the real reason you don't play a game because a lot of the stuff that we talked about is legitimate. You don't like the game either, but you don't want to say that.
I play the
because
game every day, Monday through Friday. What the hell are you talking about?
The reason you don't want to say that is because then your ego would get hurt because God forbid Tom Brady and them today would be right about something.
What? What is this conspiracy theory, dude?
How does that mean? All right, look. I thought we were
Crimson,
talking
if you
about
go to my
the-
Twitch channel
I thought
right
we were
now,
talking
look at
about
past
flawless
broadcasts, you'll
blocking
see
and-
me playing
Hold
MK11
on.
Monday through
How
Friday.
did we go from flawless blocking to
Because Dave has
zoning?
horrible arguing points and he brings up the most irrelevant shit.
All right, it's tough to have a discussion when we're having 10 discussions at once.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk about the characters that you think have improved the most because of this. Because of either the customizations or because of the patch or because of the hitbox fixes. Crimson, what do you think? I think you mentioned Kano. Maybe
Yeah,
that's a
Kano
good part.
for sure. I mean, I always say that I think people jump to
I
conclusions.
mean, MK9 Cyrax? Jesus.
I
I
always
got hit by like a death combo in the corner the other day in Kombat
I
League.
always say that I think people jump to conclusions too early, but I think it's pretty hard to argue that Kano isn't significantly improved in this patch, right? His ability to gel out into what is really an amazing string. Now he can use his plus frames all over the place. If he gets you in the corner with that freaking Molotov, you might die from blocking, you might die from being hit, right? He's just a good character all around now. A lot of people are saying he's probably one of the best in the game. I think Kodal also pretty hard to argue that Kodal is not significantly improved this patch. I don't think there's any Kodal player that wasn't happy with the patch. Everyone I've seen is enjoying themselves now. And, I think also sub players should be pretty happy. That character now has the ability to not have to choose at the variation select screen between safety and mix and damage. They can vary their playstyle on the fly and be able to use all of those tools in every match. So I think it's also hard to argue that sub isn't significantly improved. Also, noob, they're characters that were already good and may even be a little better now, like Cetrion, Liu Kang. But I think for sure characters like Kodal, Kano, noob, sub, etc. are pretty happy with this patch.
Would anybody like to add any other characters to that list or disagree with some of them?
No.
No?
I feel like most of the cast is better.
I think
All
it's
the ones I touched.
I think it's crazy to. I mean, there's just so much to explore now. I mean, there's so many new moves to even just try and combinations to look into. Like, everyone who's listening, get your creative juices flowing because.
Are
Who
we going to
knows?
talk about what we're going to do after we finally get settled in with all these moves? Or is it going to take so long that it's going to just add, infinite replayability, basically?
I think it's gonna take months. I don't even know what I want to play with Rain yet, and we're on week 3?
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's more of an exponential increase in, how much more options you have then.
I'm not even sure which Scorpion variation is the best right now.
Well,
out of all the moves.
let's talk about that. So Red Raptor, he has I want to give him props, but I'm forgetting his website right now that he's running. It's definitely a very good one.
Combat Academy.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Crimson. And then he showed obviously the teleport cancel, and it's the demon breath. I think that's what Tom actually originally brought my attention to this. So it's probably gonna get patched. So what happens is in the corner, if you finish, it's like plus 18. The demon breath, he spits fire at you. It's like plus 18, but for some reason in the corner you can't duck throws. So that gives you a reset That's like 32, 33%. If you spend both bars, and then you get a plus 18. Now, mid-screen, you can duck the throws, but even the 1-1, if he dashes fast enough, will jail. So if you can do the math, 33% plus the throw, so that's another like 13%. So you can imagine the power of that. So I
Yeah,
haven't.
it sounds like guaranteed Oki, something in your ballpark.
That's right. So it looks good. I think I would add him to the to that list as well. I don't know, Slips. If that combination sounds good to you, since you're the one who's using it.
Pretty strong, yeah. That the other cool thing about the demon breath is like if you do down one demon breath and they try and interrupt with a poke, and if they're not on point, like you can interrupt it, but you gotta be your counter poke game's gotta be on point. And if you're off and you end up trading with demon breath, he gets a free 4-3 full combo.
Jeez.
Really?
Yeah,
On
it's
trade?
super cheap.
That's weird. How fast is that move? Do you know on top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but it's not if I do like down one in demon breath, it is not an easy counter poke.
Oh, interesting.
So it's pretty good. I think it's I don't know. Like obviously, it's either going to be Reborn or Misery Blade. And then like Demon Breath is super strong, but at the same time, like his other tools are really strong too. Like the Fireball is really good for Reborn because it covers a spacing that he kind of has like a weakness on, and then Death Spin is nice because it's a truly jailable, like low poke into a special, and it's like good shit. So that's pretty useful too. And I don't know, they all got uses. I'm forgetting the other one that I normally use, but it's good stuff. He's I'm not sure which one's the best for him yet. Oh, and I guess the Demon Dash, he gets a nice damage buff on that, which is nice too. I'm not sure. That's why I think it's really interesting to see what people come up with. That's just Scorpion. I'm not sure how in depth the other characters are.
I do think they deserve it again, and there's just a lot of props. It definitely opened up the game a lot. It was definitely getting stale pre-patch, but now it's like you're looking at all these moves, and you're like, Terminate as a teleport. It's like, what's this jack string where it hits you multiple times? So stuff that was really never in any variations, and you're just naturally curious and you want to lab, which that's like the top level was complaining constantly, like there's nothing to do. We just we do everything already. As far as like the labbing stuff. So this definitely like opened up the game, and you can lab stuff for hours now.
Yeah, even if you look at the new characters, like none of these 3 new DLC are the type of characters you figure out in a week. All right? Rain, Rambo, Melina, it's gonna take time. People have their early opinions, but to really flesh out both the characters' overall meta and also all the specific things you can do with different tools is gonna take a while. So I think that's definitely also good for the game.
Well, speaking of the 3 DLC, let's talk about that because talking about Melina, Rambo, and Rain. Tom, I don't know
What is there really to talk about Melina? She needs like 20 buffs, dude.
Seriously now, what are the early, I guess, the early gossip from the top level players or from the community, maybe on Twitter, on Test Your Might? What are people saying about those characters?
Buff Melina.
That's true.
It reminds me
Well, they're all good. All DLC are good except for Melina. She needs
it reminds me of when the game.
Are we being serious here?
No.
Do you think we're trolling when we're saying people think Melina needs a bunch
Well,
of
let
buffs?
me
We're
just say
not,
this.
Zyphox. We're
It
being
reminds
real.
me of when myself and Rio, I remember when the game first came out, we're reading like these threads on Discord. And Rio's like, hold on, I want you to read this Codal buff thread. And one of the things was forward 2 is too slow. This mid should be 10 frames. And it goes half screen. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah, that was the
But I think all 3 of them are good. I would like to see their jump kicks patched at some point.
Is it, Tom, just to make sure, is it all of them or is it like just Rambo?
Melina. I don't believe it's been patched yet or hot.
Okay.
I haven't touched it as of the last update. So if it is patched, then forgive me, but I don't think it is.
You guys know when a patch comes out, it's gonna be very soon, right?
I mean, I'm just saying as of right now.
Because they're not gonna do it before what is it? They announced the Pro,
Pro
Series.
Series,
They're gonna
yeah.
they're gonna do it. There's gonna be a patch out right before the Pro Series because once that hits, they're definitely not gonna be patching the game between the
No,
Pro
'cause you
Series.
can't change the rules right during the middle of a competition. Right, exactly.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna be getting a patch very soon once they announce that.
Yeah. But I think all three of them are very good. Way too early to tell, like, this character is this or that. They're going to take a lot of time to really know what they really are. But I would say they're all fairly powerful.
Just to give people, I guess, a little preview. Any of you, please jump in, correct me if I'm wrong. So obviously, Melina, you kind of want the command grab. It's a high. You want to mix that up. She's a decent zoning game. She's a teleport. You can only equip one type of side, though. So you can only have the low side. You can have the straight side, which actually it's 2 hits. And if you want the aerial side, you have to equip another slot for that. So Foxy, Foxy Grandpa from the UK, he's been using her a lot, and he usually does the command grab, the low side, and the side backdash. I don't think that's what it's called, but it's like
Side slide.
yeah, thank you, side slide. So she kind of looks like a Zona / command, grab character. Her weakness is that she has really like short range over buttons. Like back one has really short range. So forward one is good. But
That's a myth.
yeah. Well, no,
I don't buy that bullshit.
why not?
Bitch is doing splits from half screen on forward 4. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about back one.
Her
But
forward 1, forward 4 roll. Yeah, I know that, but she has all these moves with range. She's obnoxious from like mid screen. I don't buy into that. She's a stubby character that can't hit you outside space too.
I think Melina is the type of character that's going to reward high level players, right? Like a Fujin, because the trade off for her not having the best range, right, on faster tools are ones that you just won't, mash out of accidentally or intentionally, right? The trade off is that her movement is good. So
yeah,
I think a lot of players who aren't as quite high level are going to end up getting whiff punished a lot, right? That's just how the character is. But if you watch higher players or higher level players like Tweety say, that character is basically as good as your movement.
Yeah, her movement combined with forward 1, forward 4, 3, and roll, she does not have a range issue. She can compete with like really good at mid screen.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that is a myth. I know they're trying to use back one for every single situation. They're even trying to back one you from full screen like it's MKX, but they're just playing her completely wrong.
Forward one is legit.
yeah,
Forward 4 also, that move is insane. It crushes so many pokes and it has so much range.
Yeah,
it's
but
so easy to hit confirm.
Between forward 1 and forward 4 and rolls or
and
whiff
roll
punish,
for backup
yeah.
while you're it's her range is good. They're completely full of crap saying that her range is bad.
I love that she has the MK9 like double sweep, like the back 3 4.
Back four.
It's so
Yeah.
tight.
Also, I need to blow up Melina players again.
dude.
Invisibility is actually good. They're saying that move is trash and needs all these buffs. She has literally unseeable 50/50s when she's invisible. Like, I mean, that's why she has a penalty to it. 'Cause it's not supposed to be like MKX, even though she kind of becomes MKX when you turn it on.
Yeah, and also like how the notation is super weird. So it's with an up, right?
Yeah, well, it's like old classic MK input.
Yeah,
Invisibility.
I know. Right? That's how you should be. I like.
Dude, if you go invisible with her and you have Fatal Blow, your opponent's not gonna know what the hell you're doing. Your Fatal Blow is almost gonna hit them. They're just gonna have to randomly guess.
Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say, like, in comparison to other characters, she has, less range. I don't think that's controversial to say, like, if you're comparing it to, like, I don't know, like Fujin or something, who has, like, a forward 3 that reaches so far away.
Fujin has, like, the most obnoxious range in the game. You literally pick the only character that
I
outranges anybody.
Let me pick, I don't know, Kitana back 2. Like, that's a move that has, it's a combo starter.
Her forward 4 is, like, back 2 range. What are you talking about?
I know, but is that a combo starter?
Forward 4, yes. They do forward 4-3. They hit confirm into roll or they go into size on block. That's what they do.
I have to check the range on that. You might be right. All I'm saying is, I'm just going by kind of like what the hearsay, what people are talking about. And from what I hear, she's a very good character. Obviously, unless you ask some hardcore Melina fans, I guess they think she's ass. But the point is, I think you probably want to be with her. You want to be in the opponent's face, or you want to be zoning. I think
Yeah, I think range 3 to range 5 is their best.
yeah. I think that's fair to say. Or like if you're up close, you line it down one, then they have to guess between command throw or back 1-1. And then we have Rain. So Rain obviously I think has the best movement in the game. It's too bad that the wave dash is banned. I think it's hilarious.
Oh man, that would be broke.
Yeah, that custom move is hilarious.
Yeah.
I was messing around with it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But honestly, like his regular movement is so powerful, you don't really need that. Like his movement is literally, I feel like I'm playing Tekken. Like I have so much freedom. It's so awesome to move with him. So he has that movement, and then the kind of depending on what type of gameplay you want to play. Some people like Hydro Boost. I don't. I like the slices, especially the aerial one. So if you have the Rift, you can. You have to absorb 3 or 2 projectiles, I forget, and then you can do the crushing blow.
I think it's 2. Honestly, I've been mainly 99% of my Rain gameplay has literally just me been playing Purple, Pain, and Tidal Wave.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know much about Purple Rain. I think it's kind of overrated. I think it costs.
I mean, overrated. It'd be golden for you with how much you distaste the wake up system. There's a lot of good setups for it.
Well, I think 2 slots too much to give up. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have something as powerful as to shut down the wake up game, it's pretty good.
So I do like the way he plays. He's very, very fun. Not necessarily my style, but he's very, very interesting because of the movement. I dare anybody, guys, use like Rain in practice for like half an hour, and then try to move with Aaron Black. You'll be like, "What is my forward 4 button broken?" It's so different. It's crazy how different it is. So
yeah, it feels like Rain, Fujin, and Melina have the best ground movement.
Yeah. So I do think again he's kind of like another like Fujin type. Like you really don't know. You don't want to say he's dog shit if you know what I'm saying, but at the same time you don't want to say he's OP. So you just kind of have to wait.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's really good. Also, can we talk about Fujin for a second? I know we're supposed to talk about DLC. Fujin is ridiculous. I think that character is like top tier right now. The character is insane.
But wait a minute, I heard from a reliable source that he was dog shit.
Dude, he's the complete opposite. He's ridiculous. I'm fighting back-to-back Fujins. I'm ranked over. That character is so obnoxious.
Yeah, bro.
Neutral game, footsies, movement, the risk reward that's non-existent for him. That character is so dumb. I think months from now we're gonna see everybody complaining about that character. I'm calling it right now. Fujin's gonna be the new Jackie.
Dude, he's very strong.
He's ridiculous. He takes like no risk. He's doing like these half screen hit confirms into Skywalker fly into no risk. All this shit 4-3 slides at the full. Like the character is obnoxious.
This is why
I don't know how that character is
deserved to be blown up for that statement. Because
I just cannot believe it, dude.
he hasn't.
I don't know how nobody's talking about Fujin right now though. The character is so insane.
He's really dumb. I use him.
He's really stupid.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I think he's easily right now. I think he's like top tier, one of the top tier characters.
Yeah, he's top tier.
But let's also talk about.
No, it's crazy because he was so good before, but now he's like way better, which is kind of.
Well, actually, before we move on to Rambo, can you guys briefly talk about the moves that people usually equip for him?
For Fujin?
Yeah, I know it's Skywalker, and then what else?
It depends. Some of them use the push. Some of them they always use Skywalker. They use the air tornado move, the one where you like go in place to cancel or whatever.
Yeah.
And some of them rare they use like the setup move where he shoots like this little wind bomb. That's very rare. But they mainly use either the push, Skywalker is always a must, and they use the cancel air move, the cyclone, whatever it's called, where you get like the combos.
Okay. Let's also just briefly, because in case people are curious about Rambo. So Rambo, and jump and slip, if I'm wrong. So I think people like the leopard crawl. Is that what you call it in the in game? So it's like you get you get the command grab, which is hits mid because he's obviously grabbing you from the ground. And then you have the parry. And then you have like a little knife, it's like a slice with a knife. So that replaces the slide, if I'm not mistaken. And then people like the what do you call that? The claymore.
The Claymore.
Claymore, that's very popular. So that's like an unblockable, and it can hit him just like it can hit you, which is hilarious. But that might be something like we can lane people out really bad, like because they can't really do anything to you once they're on the screen. At least they can't approach you. So that's right. And then there's a snare trap, but I think that's 2 slots. It launches. It low profiles a lot of stuff, including RoboCop's low projectile. Why I don't know, but it does that. which just is mind-boggling to me. But there you have
It's
it.
Rambo, man. He's crouching low. He's a
Dude,
Navy
a low
SEAL.
projectile, dude.
He's a Navy
You're
SEAL.
being a little misleading. It's not a low projectile.
No.
It's mid.
No, I'm talking about in low profiles, RoboCops.
He's been
No, I
trained
know
to
that,
eat
but the
things
way
that
you're
makes a
saying
billy
it-
goat puke. He don't worry about
No,
your
I'm just
emotions.
clarifying for the people listening. RoboCop's projectile is not an actual low. It's a mid. It's a mid projectile.
No, I wasn't referring to that. I'm referring to the fact that in low profiles, RoboCop,
His mid gunshot, right?
yeah, his mid gunshot.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Because people are probably like, "What low gunshot? He has low."
Oh yeah. Thank you. So in low profiles, that which is just crazy. It should not
He's
be like
dodged way more tougher shots in Vietnam than he has in RoboCop. Low
that. This fool trying to justify that shit now, so he doesn't get zoned. So I don't know. Like he seems like a trap character. He has like universally good moves. He's got the whip trap, which it's like a decent projectile. Just don't use it against Gears and set you on too much. But yeah, and he's got like the bow, which is slow in startup, but actually has really good recovery. You can shoot 3, you can shoot 2. So it's really interesting. I don't know what he's gonna play.
He's also got this special move that makes Kotal not press the button from half screen, the Claymore.
Yeah. So I don't know what he's gonna play like. It just seems like weird right now, but it seems like a setup character, like who can do a little bit of everything. Slips, is that what you're thinking, or?
I think he can do it all right now. I think his only real problem is he has a hard time punishing. His jab's pretty slow, and he can't combo into snare trap. So some things he can't punish very very well, which is kind of a shame. But outside of that, I think he's got everything. He can combo, he can rush people down, he can keep people out. Solid footsies, good guessing games. Otherwise, he's fine. Pretty good damage. He's fine otherwise. The slide is fun. His zoning isn't too big of a problem because both the traps are pretty good about doing good against zoning. So you just pretty much play fundamentals with him because it's what Rambo always said, man. The mind is the most powerful weapon. He's got all the tools.
My favorite thing with Rambo is when I played against a Kotal, I would knock him away and put a Claymore on the ground, and then I would finally, for once in my life, not have to worry about his 4-2 from half screen.
Yeah,
And I could actually throw things at him.
nice.
Yeah, it seems like Rambo's a big question mark, and I think that's really cool. You know, you definitely see like 2 schools of Rambo players forming right now, right? You have the guys who want to play like super lane, right? Hide as far away as they can behind the Claymore and freaking use the log and everything like that. And then you have the Rambos that are just crazy, like balls to the wall, want to rush you down and put you in weird Claymore setups in the corner or use the roll or whatever. So I think it's interesting. I'm curious to see, like what a quote optimal Rambo is going to look like. And I think it's cool.
I think it's gonna depend on the matchup. Like some matchups, like
true.
Claymore is gonna be better, and then matchups where I think he does pretty good, like up close and footsies and rushing down. But the matchups where he gets outclassed, there he might be better off with going the Claymore route.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, it's that case. It's also the case with other characters' moves, right? Like, say Melina, in some matchups, low side is really good because characters that can normally zone just can't zone you at all, right? In other matchups, you might prefer the normal side. So I think, yeah, across the DLC, a lot of stuff is going to be matchup dependent. You're right, and that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Well, we got we got time for one more topic. I'm gonna let you guys choose. Is there anything specific you guys want to discuss before we wrap it up? Nobody really.
I wouldn't mind talking more about Fujin.
I just want to make sure Tom is still kicking and breathing here.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, cool. We're good.
God, man, Fujin's the most annoying character in this game right now.
Is this
No, I just don't understand how people aren't talking about him.
well, people are going-
Are they? Because that character is like, I think he's the MK character right now.
well
I
Good.
think he's the chosen one this patch.
well
Good. I like it.
who I don't think it's fair to say that he's not talking about.
Dave, if you play Kombat League, I guarantee you'll run into 10 Fujins.
No, I understand. I mean, you have Hayate using him. You have
It's been like that for a while, though.
Oh no, I'm talking about any Fujin off the street. They're all annoying as hell to play.
I'm saying, like, but I don't think that's just that nobody's talking about it because there are plenty of high level players who are using him at the moment.
Dragon.
Dragon, he has.
Dragon's playing Fujin now?
He's been using Fujin like since he came out. It's not like his main character.
Yeah, I think Ninja Killer and Hayatai are probably the two most visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
That character is so good.
But I mean,
Any other like characters aside from the ones that we have mentioned that you guys think that those are like the characters to watch out?
I mean, aside from Fujin, I guess the next character that's like, why aren't people more talking about him? But Crimson kind of mentioned him already. Kano. Forward 2, back 2 string is so obnoxious. This corner game is ridiculous with the acid. Well, I mean, with the laser restand and the acid setup into like this death loop mix up.
Apparently, the string by the way still whiffs on Gears.
Okay, so he has one matchup where he can't autopilot.
Well, it's not about autopilot. It's about consistency.
No, I know. I mean, there's still hitbox issues. I mean, Rain's back 2 and stuff still whiffs on some characters.
Yeah, hopefully they fix that. And I heard it might also whiff on Katana, the Kano stuff, but I haven't really tested that. So I really, really hope they fix all of that stuff because I don't think it's meant to be in the game. If just, especially like, why would it whiff on Gears? He's a
There
big
are other
bug.
bugs too, like Collector. If he stands on his own fire, he's immune to Cetrion's Hell's Wrath.
that's fair. That's
Just
fair.
go-
He needs
Let's
it.
just stay.
He needs it.
There's just a couple of weird bugs right now. So.
Yeah. So we have Fujin, Kano, any other like you guys think might be these?
I mean,
Up to you.
Liu Kang is really good too.
Yeah, Liu Kang. So
Cetrion obviously seems
Yeah.
really good.
I think Jade's much better at this version too. A lot of people aren't talking about her, but she's got some annoying loadout.
Simon-
She's always been annoying.
Zyphox was using her, and so was actually somebody.
That Dahlia dance move is so obnoxious.
Is that the low?
It's a double low, and then you have to guess to punish it. But it's weird because it's kind of like a delay meter burn, so you have to be fast to punch the double low. But if you're trying to punish it, you get clipped by the meter burn, so it's kind of like a guess.
Does that replace any other move that she has, or?
It replaces her spin move, the back forward 2 spin. So she's
I see.
which is kind of fair.
I see.
Yeah,
What else?
Fury,
Yeah, but it's a really good move.
Fury was playing her, I think, today in the Coliseum too. So
Yeah,
it was like
These rank Jades are going hard with
two
that loadout,
Jades
though. They're
and-
using air batarangs and Delia dance.
I
we
also think that Gears is probably better than ever as well. I know that Gur didn't really have a particularly good night. How good he is didn't have a good night tonight, but because I think he lost a rain player and he didn't know what was going on. But I think Gears is also very, very strong with the with the low sand trap, with the pillar, and then with the teleport. He has good, still decent movement, decent damage, mid command grab. So I assume he will probably be very, very strong in this one too, right?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of characters are better, honestly. Like most of the cast is better in some way.
I think everybody is good except two characters, Shao Kahn and RoboCop. I think those two need buffs. Everybody else is fine.
Why is Shao Kahn bad?
I don't. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, he's risky, but Jesus, do you see his goddamn damage when he hits you? They're just doing like almost 50%.
I mean, the dude's
Literally
got
matching
nothing
backstory
but
over and over and
buffs
over.
like forever. Is he still not good?
He's got a 10 frame mid that leads to like 40% corner carry into you better not break away or you die again. It's
The
like,
10 frame mid is death if you get it blocked.
Tom, do you want me to mention Shao Kahn you played last time that washed you away on your stream?
This is what I mean. Rio is a choke, and
No. But here's the thing, though.
He beat
Did that
me
not
2
happen?
games.
Like,
I caught him again and beat the stuffing out of his Shao Kahn and Kano.
No. You beat the stuffing out of his Kano, dude. Just to correct you, you didn't beat his Shao Kahn.
Okay.
so
You weren't worthy enough to get a run back on
have
Shao
him come
Kahn. You went to
play me.
Kano.
I'll beat his Shao Kahn too.
He already beat you 2-1 in the tournament.
I don't really care.
all I'm
There's no
saying.
tournament that day, so it doesn't matter.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is, it's I think Shao Kahn is not as shit as people are
I'm
making.
al-
So he may be bottom.
I'm also
tier,
not as sharp as punishing a lot of this stuff, but if you have a 6 frame down one,
Well, it's kind of like, here's the thing. Shao Kahn players will sell you a build. They'll be like, we can never use 4-3 ever. It's punished every single time. And then you watch people play and they have
No,
like, all
it's
these mind
only-
games.
How do you punish it? What do you do? Flawless
Okay,
block?
so
So basically, you
if
always
have a
flawless
six-
block
if you have
it,
a
but then they start doing 4-3 staggers or shoulders, throw off your timing. It's not as easy as they
Isn't
make it
that
sound.
what
It's-
every character goes through?
Hold on, no,
Pretty much, yeah.
It's only problematic. It's only problematic if you have a 6 frame down one. If you just down one,
Not really, because he wins the trade,
no, you have the advantage now.
but he gets more damage.
But you have the advantage.
Tom,
Is that easy to do though?
Very.
only 6 frame pokes. That's only 3 characters in the game: Gear,
I'm
Sub-Zero,
not
and Aaron.
disagreeing with you. My point is,
No, I know. I'm just like saying, like, are we sure Shao Kahn is this garbage?
I don't think anybody said he was garbage.
I
I
wouldn't
think
say he
people
was garbage.
it's just that I don't think he benefited from the custom.
He did his down 4. Well, no, not so much from custom, but
He benefited the most from the anti-breakaway shit a while ago.
What?
He's like, dude, you guys better pray if you try to break away against
like
him.
even his down
You're
4
either
in
gonna eat the
open
40%
space,
or die.
not many characters have this, like down 4 that jails into something in open space because of the pushback. Shao Kahn jails off down 1, down 3, and down 4.
Yeah, and his jab's good too. His jab's very
so-
good, and he's got good
been
answers, and he's got
seeing-
amazing wake ups.
I've been seeing 2 like really strong schools going on this. Like, there's one group of people, including some people like Franco, that's like he's terrible. Like, he's still garbage. They didn't help him enough. And then there's another group of people like Tweety, Ultra David, and some other people that are like, you know what? The fact that he can jail in the standing 1 now is actually a really big change. And we need to play the meta out and actually see how good he is because they think people are taking it for granted. So
I'm not saying he's top tier. I just feel like he's good. Like when I play against him, I feel like I have to actually be like, okay, let me not fuck up or do something unsafe, otherwise I'm gonna die. Not many characters make you feel like that in this game.
Well, actually, speaking of Franco King Jr., he was here last night, and I mean, fighting Gears and fighting Shao Kahn is literally night and day difference. I can actually beat him when he uses Shao Kahn. I cannot beat him when he uses Gears now.
Well, it depends on the matchup.
I tried a couple of characters. I understand that since my raises are not what they used to be, I'm kind of struggling right now. But I just feel the difference, like, and it's huge. Like Gears is just skill, just has so much going on. And I understand might not be fair comparison.
No, I get it, but you have to also put it into perspective. Franco is more of a Gears main than a Shao Kahn main, which is why his Gears is naturally going to be
True,
better.
but that's like he's been using. That's clearly his second strongest character though. Like he's been trying to make him work for a long time, and obviously people downplay, and I understand that. But at the same time, I do think there's some truth to what they're saying. Doesn't mean they should get all of their buffs, but I think we have to keep it real. He's not that strong of a character. Doesn't mean he's trash though.
I think there's definitely this character in like every game we have, though, right? There's that one character where half the people are like, he's garbage, and then the other half the people are like, I don't know. Maybe you guys just start
But
playing
this
him right.
game, we gotta admit, the balance is much better than the previous games, at the very least.
I mean, we've been admitting that since we've been doing this podcast.
No, I know, but Shao Kahn has the basics to do what he needs to do,
No, I understand. And the point. I think if you're gonna do buffs, I think those Shao Kahn and I think RoboCop, those are the two characters.
Yeah, but what exactly are you gonna buff about him though? Do they want 434 to be safe? Because it's kind of then they gotta tone down the damage he gets off that shit. It can't be getting corner carry.
It depends on what NRS wants to do. It depends what their design for the character is. I just if you're gonna.
But are we sure he needs these buffs? Like, is he that bad? Like, he needs to get buffed?
Well, I mean, the way they've been buffing, they do little by little. I think that's fair. I don't think there's any risk in that.
So you're saying that we should hold off on the 20 Molina buffs and look at Shao Kahn?
Yes, absolutely.
What's wrong with him? I just don't get it.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, Slips. I'm really trying to figure out what is so bad about Shao Kahn.
Well, I mean, I don't main the character, so it's kind of difficult for me to. I can talk about why RoboCop is bad, but I think Shao Kahn.
Okay, I actually want to hear your opinion about this because I hear this a lot. Why do you think RoboCop is so bad? Because I think the character has some annoying things.
I think the fact that what I try to do is I use the mid command grab, just like everybody else in their mothers does nowadays, who doesn't have a command grab almost at this point. I think his damage is so low. And by the way, if you use the the amplified assault cannon, they can actually break out of that. And because of the new, like Tom was saying, because of the new quick rise, animation, they have enough time to come in and combo you. So that means you have to use the meter burn low all.
Yeah, that's old though. It's a mix-up still.
What makes up?
You do 1-2-1 cannon, and then you have to break away second part. If you don't meter burn it, then
I know, but the damage is so low as it is.
No, I know that, but at least you have like a breakaway mix-up.
No, I understand, but the point is the damage is way too low, and I understand like why he has like bad up 2s and up 3s because he's supposed to be like this strong zoning character, which is obviously a joke. But so I understand by design he's supposed to be bad in that regard. I just think he does very very low damage, and usually like When like Kung Lao gets and hits you, he's gonna do 35.
Yeah, but Kung Lao's not machine gunning projectiles at you either.
I understand that, but projectiles are not that good in this game. I mean, they are, but not to the extent that they were back in the day. So the weaknesses are not justified.
Yes, but at the same token, offense also isn't as good in this game as it was back in the day.
Okay, then why can the best offensive character leap across the screen, has a 9-frame mid that's hit confirm and does a lot of damage?
Bro, the best offensive character, Jackie, that you're referring to, are literally equipping a zoning move to make her even better.
I know. Why does a rushdown character have access to that? I mean, if that's fine then. Then I want something in return. Or for any other character.
Look, RoboCop has some dumbass shit, dude. That down 4 is obnoxious. His air charge is ridiculous. His staggers aren't bad either. His mids are pretty good.
I think then I'm a washed up old fighting game player, but I probably would not be losing 60-10 to Franco Giris if the character was as good as you say he is.
It could be a bad matchup, and like you said, didn't you take a big break off this game?
True, but at the same time, I mean,
you're battling against someone who got top 8. You're literally playing against one of the best MK11 players in this game.
I understand that.
One of the best, arguably, top 2 best Gears player in this game.
Top 2, I think. I think that's fair to say. Why did he lose to me then, pre-patch?
I don't know, maybe Katana, because Katana negated a lot of Gears' stuff before. Like, she got down 3 under his best strings, things like that.
That's just one example. I can name you many other matchups. And then you can make it say, what do you know about it? That's fair enough. But I'm telling you, the character is weak. He's super weak. So again, the damage is just one thing. His strings are terrible. Usually if you jump, or like Tom was saying, if you meter burn in the air, you get a punish. They're so bad. They have no range. Down 4 is decent. I think he should be faster, considering he has no range in his normal attacks.
Down 4 should be faster.
Usually if you fight, usually people have, like look at all the DLC, they have very strong movement. Obviously, Melina has a teleport.
RoboCop actually has better than average movement.
No, that's not, I'm talking about like them getting in a nuke because of their movement, their teleport, their absorb moves. Like, it's just not enough to make everything work. Obviously, I'm not suggesting, hey, I'm on Freddy or something like that. But I think, even Katana, I think, is weaker. I think she should be better too. I think that you have to look at it from the context of the game, because everybody got better. So now,
dude, honestly, I think most people have no idea what the hell they're talking about, and they can't even explain to you like why characters are bad exactly.
well, I think I've explained to you very clearly why the character's not good. We can agree to this.
No, I know you told me he has low damage in that, but I feel like he makes up for it in other areas, like the fact that he has a 2 throw crushing blow, which not every character has. That's a big deal.
It's not that big of a deal when you have to give up your move. So pretty much he's one of the few characters that they put one of the quote-unquote combination ban. So Jack is allowed to leap across the screen, have a zoling tool, but God forbid those 50% combos, are followed up by a mid command grab for a mix-up. You can't have that, but every other character can have whatever they want, mostly. But he cannot have that. Again, there's a lack of consistency, and it just doesn't add up. I mean, if you want to prove a point and use RoboCop against
Dave, that's not going to help you zone more. You're going to turn him into literally a mix machine.
Well, the way
16 restand into you have to take a strike throw command throw mix up. What, dude?
Well, the thing is, then why?
You said you want to play your style, but you're asking for literally the complete opposite of what you say this game needs more of.
Well, they're not gonna buff. I don't think he's per se his zoning doesn't really need a buff. I think it's fine. But the fact of the matter is that all of his other tools are weak. That's what. If you want to have a good character, you gotta have overall good tools. Like if Jackie didn't have some stuff.
Yeah, I think he has good tools. Like I said, his jump kick is obnoxious. His air charge is bullshit. His down 4 is really good. His staggers are not bad. His 4-2-1 and 4-3-2. Those aren't really bad strings.
Well, we'll agree to disagree. I do want to wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think, or whether it's Test Your Mind, YouTube, or Twitter, about this conversation. Which do you guys think are the strongest character? Which do you guys think are the weakest character? Who needs nerfs? Who needs buffs? Do you think it's too early? What do you think about the DLCs? Please let us know in the comments down below, and we will definitely see you on the next episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, everybody.